20th. That's a Saturday. We are coming to South Florida, to Florida Seminoles Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, because it is the return of two former champions, Adrien Broner and Omar Figueroa Jr. Listen, whether you love him, whether you hate him, you got to watch him, and he's back. He's known as the Can Man, known as the Problem. Adrien Broner back in the ring after 18 months away, 34-4-1. He's back, and he's taken on another former world champion. He's been away for 14 months. His record, 28-2-1, Omar Figueroa Jr. This is a fight that was made at one point 4 years ago, but now they're getting together and they're going to settle it in the ring on August 20th. It is brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions. Tickets are available, and you can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Again, Ticketmaster.com. I'm going to talk to both of these fighters about this fight. You see their trainers are with them as well. Mike Stafford, longtime trainer of Adrien Broner, and, of course, the father of Omar Figueroa Jr., Omar Figueroa Sr. as well. We'll talk with them. And I know members of the media, you have questions for them as well. All you have to do is on the Zoom, hit the raise your hand icon there, and you'll be able to ask your question as well. Gentlemen, let's get into it, and let's get into this fight. And Adrien, we'll start with you, because I know for a while you've been training for this. You've been out in Colorado. Can you give us a word on just how training camp has been going and just your feelings on facing Omar Figueroa Jr.?
I'm going to be 100% honest with you, Brian. I ain't with none of this shit they got going on. I feel like Al Heyman and Steven Espinoza is bullshitting, because why is we doing a press conference on a computer when you got guys like, they don't do Floyd shit on no fucking computer when he fight a YouTuber. They don't do nobody else shit on the computer, but they want to do my shit on the computer. So that's telling me they don't give a fuck about me. So when you say fuck me, it's fuck y'all. And at the end of the day, that's what I really just came here to let y'all know. I see, anybody can see it. Y'all, at this point, y'all bullshitting. Y'all's been supposed to make this fight. Y'all giving us dates. Y'all keep pushing our dates back. Like, y'all, come on, man. Who the fuck do a 6-month camp? Y'all tripping. So what I'm going to do, Brian, I'm going to talk to you at 11 on Thursday. So what I'm going to do is tell Omar, keep training your ass off. I'm training my ass off too. Let's go in there and put on a great performance. But I'm going to get the fuck on up out of here and go back to sleep, y'all. Hey, Brian, I'll see you on Thursday, all right?
Let me say one thing. Now, because of COVID, this has kind of been the thing. This is like the preliminary press conference that we generally do. And then we obviously have the press conference in person during fight week. So this has been the protocol of what we've done generally, all because of COVID. Omar, we'll go to you as well. Talk to us about how training camp has been going, and then your thoughts on fighting Adrien Broner.
Well, I mean, I'm excited. It's finally happening. I'm looking forward to the challenge. I know that Broner's got a lot left in the tank, and I know that he's a world caliber fighter, regardless of whatever's going on outside of boxing for him. And so we're preparing like never before. We're going to be ready like never before. And I agree with him to an extent, but this is because, like you mentioned, COVID and whatnot, this has been the protocol, and this is stuff that we have to do. Most of us fighters don't like it, but this is what we have to do. So we're here getting it done. It's part of training and it's part of camp, and we're happy to do it.
Senior, talk to me about camp. How's it been going? Because for the past few fights, Omar's had different trainers, but now he's back with Dad. So how has things changed now that he's back with you?
I guess we're going back to basics and kind of like starting over and, getting into his memory. And
I'll be right back, and we'll talk about everything. This is live, real time.
When he was doing great, trying to get him in top shape. A lot of respect for Adrien Broner. I think both guys are gonna go in there and they're gonna put up a big fight, and it's gonna be exciting at the point that they're equally matched, their records, and like you said, 4 years ago they were supposed to meet each other, but I don't know, for some reason. But Al Haymon is getting it done, and finally is gonna be on Showtime, and very excited to have my son back. And this is like when we started training, trying to get it back together, and for him to, like I said, be in top shape and give a good fight out there.
Mike Stafford, let me come to you because give us some insight on what training has been like for Adrian. Obviously, he talked about he's been in Colorado for a while. What has training been like with Adrian? How has it gone? And what kind of Adrien Broner will we see on August 20th?
Well, just like Adrian said, it's been a long camp and a lot of things been going on. So at this point, Brian, all I can say is, we'll be ready for the fight August the 20th. And, it's been a lot of this, a lot of back and forth about this fight. So all I can say is we'll be ready. And I have
This dude really leave?
August the 20th.
All right, fantastic. All right, guys. So let's talk about specifically about this fight. In the read up, in the build up for this fight, and everything that I've read about it, everyone keeps saying that this is a crossroads fight for both fighters. Both fighters need this fight and a win to stay relevant, let's say at the elite level. Otherwise, a loss, and people are questioning whether they're going to continue on their career. Omar Jr., do you agree with that?
To an extent, of course. I mean, we're both coming off, I'm coming off losses, and we're both at the latter end of our careers, given our age and all that. But it just depends. I feel if, depending on how I feel this fight, we're having a great camp. I feel better than ever.
I think this dude left.
And now that I have the whole mental health thing under control as well, I feel like it's giving me.
This Broner, he ain't coming back.
We'll just have to wait and see how we look and feel this fight, and then we'll go from there.
Mike, Mike, is there any way we can get Adrian back, or is he gone?
He's gone.
He's gone. Okay. So do you
talk to you Thursday?
Okay.
Bastard.
Do you agree with that assessment that this is a crossroads fight for Adrien Broner?
It's never a crossroads fight for Adrian. Adrian can be Adrian, and he can go fight anywhere in the country anytime he wants to, because he has an attitude if he's going to win. So, we don't look at it as no crossroads. This is our last fight. We look at it as we ready to take over boxing again.
Let's talk about, your past fights, because they always say there's that old adage, you're only as good as your last performance, right? And so, Mike, when you look at that last performance against Santiago, which, happened, let's say about 18 months ago, there were a number of people who said Santiago should have won that fight. Why doesn't Broner throw more? Why doesn't he let his hands go? Based off the last time we saw Adrian, what kind of different Adrien Broner will we see on August 20th?
We'll get back to what you say. A lot of people wanted him to lose, and that's the whole stigma of Adrien Broner. They want him to lose because they don't see the skill set. They don't see the punches that really counts. And that's what it counts. The judges saying it was unanimous decision. Actually, he dropped the kid, and he didn't get a 10-8 round for it. So, a lot of people say this, a lot of people say that, but they're not in the ring taking the shots and seeing the skill level that this kid have. He's older now, and and he's taking care of, he got to take care of his kids. So he's not in there to get banged up and all that. He's a skillful fighter, and you got to look at the skills and more or less than just, all tough man and all that stuff. We do it. We at a skill level. So you got to look at the skills that this kid possesses.
Omar Jr., we'll start with you. When we look at the Ramos fight that you had, I think a lot of people watched that fight and said, man, what's wrong with Omar Figueroa Jr.? I mean, does he even want to be in the ring considering the way you looked in that fight? How much, what happened there, and how much different will you be on August 20th?
Well, I mean, only time will tell, but we don't know what happened. All I know is that I got in the ring and I didn't feel my legs under me. And, I feel like that would explain a lot of what transpired in the ring itself. But other than that, we're doing our best to be in the best shape possible for this fight. And that's all we're looking forward for.
Senior, question to you. When you look at that last fight, what did you see that you said, okay, this is what we're going to do different? And what will we see then on August 20th?
Well, like I said, going back to basics and being after my son and getting a strength and conditioning coach that we have now. And he's really pushing Omar hard. And, I think it's going to be a lot different fighter, on August 20th. Just hoping that, both fighters come in great shape and put on a big show for the fans, and wishing the best for both of the fighters,
Fantastic. Mike, let me come to you because Adrian has certainly been active socially, social media, talking about training and things of that nature. And I thought it was interesting where he posted talking about that he's learned a lot in this time, especially since his last fight, that all those people that were around him aren't there anymore. And that is just really just the key people that he's grown up with that are there now. There isn't anyone holding and getting him water anymore. It's just the key people around him. And that's okay, because even though you guys don't believe in me anymore, I'm going to be champion again. What do you think? What do you think Adrian has learned over this past, let's say, year and a half, considering it seems like a lot of the people that were around him before have left? Well,
it's a part of growing up. He experienced what every athlete in the world experienced. Once you get on the other side, or they think you down, they try to capitalize on someone else. So he just experiencing, and it's come. He knew deep down inside, but it just came to light. He didn't think it would come to light like it did, and then it's fine. He's Adrian's smart, and he's intelligent, and he knows he got in this.
Thanks for the super chat, Ohio Runs Boxing. We're going to talk
after this. I think
you
froze on us, Mike. Mike, can you still hear us?
Broner pulled the plug.
I think he froze on us. Omar, we'll get his signal fixed up. We'll come back to you here. There we are. There we go. Thank you. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, what I was saying is he still got the same people around him that he was coming up to, when he was coming up in the amateurs and early in the pros. And then, he got, Al Heyman behind him, and which did really have put a real world team together. So we still in the top of the game. We the 4-time champion, and like I said, it just few losses. He never got hurt. He's never been knocked out. It's just a matter of just getting back in the ring. He just want to get back in the ring at this point and prove to the yay say and all that he is the top guy.
And let me ask you this, Mike. It seems like when we've had Adrian back, he's always talked about, hey, look, it's different. I'm AB. I'm about boxing. I'm AB now. I'm about business. And then you'll either it's been a draw. It's been a decision that's been disputed. Tell us, in your opinion, why this time it's different.
Well, in that sense, he had built his boxing skills.
Thanks, Cartier.
Record up so high with all the knockouts. People expect the knockouts, and but this time, I think he really, they didn't bring up, they didn't let the dragon out of the sky. You know what I'm saying? This kid, he's training his ass off, and he want to prove to the world that, what I'm saying, that you guys that is just turning your back on him, we coming. We coming. That's all I got to say. We coming. We coming.
Okay. Omar, let me get back to you because, first of all, and for members of the media, if you haven't checked it out, Omar was on my show, The Last Stand podcast, and was very open and honest about everything. And I thank you for that, Omar. One of the things that you said, why we'll see a different Omar Figueroa Jr., and probably a better version, is that you have a better grasp on your mental health. And if you could, can you tell me how that has helped you kind of fall in love with the sport again and helped you now say, okay, I've got a better a mindset going into this fight with Adrien Broner?
Well, before I was fueled by hatred and and anger and all the negative stuff, and now I feel like I'm really soaking it all in, being in camp with my family, being back with my dad. I'm being appreciative and just grateful for the opportunity that I have to do this again with my family and do it at the level that I'm doing it. And I maintained myself when I was off, which is a first. And so I was able to come to camp and focus on really strengthening my body and sharpening my boxing skills, on focusing on my conditioning and everything that before it was trying to get me in shape, trying to get me to lose the weight, trying to, focusing on things that weren't really boxing related. And now I feel like, we finally had time, especially with the extension that they gave us on time. We've had more than enough time to focus on everything that we never really had time to focus on before. And I feel like that's a huge thanks to my mental health and me loving and appreciating and being grateful to just be able to work out and strengthen my body, take care of my body, both inside and out. And I feel like that's been the biggest difference. It's just me loving myself to the point where I gave myself this opportunity to just be better all around.
Plus,
Very good.
plus the weight. That's a big factor. Omar's not a 147. Omar could be 135 or 140, and he's gonna do good at that weight.
So the weight helps. The 140 helps, you think? Senior?
Yes, definitely.
Mike, it goes to you. This fight is going to be fought at 140. You believe that's the best weight for Adrien Broner?
Yes, mostly all his wins is coming, and his stoppages come from 140, 135, and 130. And the nonsense when he was fighting at 47, he never weighed in at 47 that much. So I think 140 would be the comfortable weight. He's just a regular welterweight. Yep.
Mike, generally we've heard Adrien going into a fight, and listen, he has his taglines. He'll say, tell a fighter, look, I'm going to F you up, or I'm going to whoop your ass. I mean, generally those are the, but he was very adamant here. And he told the media for this fight, I'm coming in, quote, I'm coming in for the stoppage. I'm coming to get this guy out of there, end quote. It's the first time in a while that I've heard Adrien Broner say that he's actually looking for the knockout in this fight. Tell me why. Tell me why you think Adrien Broner is coming into this fight so confident.
Because, like you said, it's get back to people just don't believe in him no more, and like he's just a regular fighter with these guys coming up, and he's not regular. He's beyond regular. Matter of fact, he opened up the doors for all these guys coming in and boxing today. And even with Floyd, him and Floyd had a good relationship. And in some kind of way, Floyd, he doing his thing, and Adrien want to do his thing, and he's not trying to detach nobody with his legacy. And his legacy is to dominate. He just wants to, dominate, and that's what he's looking to do. He's doing it in training. He's doing it in every other way. He's dominating.
Omar, what's your response to that? He told the media, quote, I'm coming to get this guy out of there. I'm coming for the stoppage. What's your response to that?
I'll meet him in the middle of the ring. That's it. We'll see.
Okay. Wow. Fantastic. Last question for both of you guys, and then we'll get members of the media, let them ask some questions. Mike, I'll start with you. Adrian also said, I will be champion again. You believe Adrien Broner will be champion again and at 140?
More than one way than ever, you know. It's you know, it's like, you know, like you're riding off to the sunset. You know, we need one more, maybe two. So maybe you know, two belts. So, you know, we riding off to the sunset.
Okay.
Didn't think about that. I would love Ryan Garcia versus Broner at 140.
Omar Figueroa Jr. as a world champion again.
Well, for me, that's not my goal. My goal has you know, surpassed boxing. I just want to be happy. I want to be healthy, and I want to be able to be there for my kids for the long run.
That's fantastic. All right, guys. I know there's members of the media who are champing at the bit to ask you guys some questions. So we're going to allow that. Sam Jackson is here from Swanson Communications. Sam is going to acknowledge you, and you can just go ahead and ask your question, Stafford, or to one of the Figueroas. Sam, if you would.
Thank you, Brian. If anyone has any questions, please use the raise hand function. We are going to start with Keith Idek from Boxing Scene. Keith, if you can unmute yourself, please ask your questions.
Thank you, Sam. My question is for Omar Jr. first. Omar, when did you know that this fight was going to be at 140 pounds? And did it change at some point? Because we were told it was probably going to be a welterweight fight. Can you tell me how you went about that?
Oh, this at 140?
As soon as I was told about the fight, we were told that it was going to be at 140, as far as I knew. So whether that was just telling me for me to keep my weight down or what, but that's the mentality that I came into this camp with. And I mean, like I said, I had already been maintaining myself anyway. So I've been cruising at 150 comfortably, and, you know, I don't think I'm going to have a problem with that.
You haven't fought at the 140 limit in 7 years or so. Can you speak to getting down to that weight? Like, I know you're at a good weight now, but how much better also do you feel fighting at that weight than you did at 147?
Well, I mean, we only attempted 147 because of all the injuries and everything that I had going on that prevented me from training 100%. But now that I feel 100% physically, mentally, and everything, we don't think 140 is going to be a problem. And I think I'm going to feel a lot better and a lot stronger at 140 as well.
Thank you, Omar. And Mike, if you could answer that as well as it relates to Adrian. I know he got some big opportunities at 147 pounds, but you feel this is
I
where—
wouldn't trust Broner to make 140. Watch this shit change to 142 or 144 before the fight. Watch.
You know, we never was a well, you know, super well welterweight. We were always going into 140, and you know, we just had the opportunity to go at 47 and took a title. And you know, and we kind of loomed up there, 147. But actually, we skipped two weight classes and went up there. So, you know, we never was a 47 pounder. We always between 35 and 40.
And at this point in his career, how much better do you expect Adrian to perform because he's a smaller guy at 140?
Well, his performance is going to be dramatic because he's a great finisher, and you know, and he's a skillful fighter. So you can't take that away from him. You know, skills and smartness beat fight. So that's what we had. You know.
Great. Thank you, Mike. I have just one more question for Omar. Omar, you know, a lot of times Adrian in his fights does not throw a lot of punches. You're the type of fighter, of course, that is going to press someone and make them fight, so to speak. What type of fight are you expecting from Adrian on August 20th?
We're getting ready for the best version of Adrien Broner, whether that's throwing 10 punches around or 50 punches around. We're focused on our craft and what we have to do to win the fight. And you know, that's all we have in mind right now.
You know, Mike spoke earlier. This is my last question for you, Omar. Mike spoke earlier about Adrien Broner proving to people who turn their backs on him or who don't believe in him anymore, proving those people wrong. How do you look at this? I mean, you know, people might think similar things about you based on your last performance. Of course, a lot has changed for you since then. What about yourself in terms of proving people wrong?
It's always been me against myself, especially now that I know that I've been diagnosed with everything that I had going on mentally. It even more so cements that it's always been me against myself. And that's essentially what I'm focused on, trying to dominate my mind and dominate my body and just be the best version of myself so I can be the best boxer in the ring.
Okay. Glad you're feeling better, Omar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. We are going to go now to Ismail Abdulsalam. Ismail, if you can please unmute yourself and ask your questions.
Thank you. First question is for Coach Mike Stafford. Mike, I wanted to ask you, because we saw with Adrian, it seems like he has a lot of motivation, but a lot of anger and frustration. We know a lot of times you can channel that into the ring to have a better performance, but also on the downside, it can make a fighter unfocused and wild. Have you had any issues channeling Broner's aggression and anger about this situation and the fights being delayed? How have you been able to channel that into a better performance with the training you've been doing with him?
Well, I mean, that's part of the boxing game, you know. But I think that by him realizing, you know, honestly, you know, the fact that, you know, that these guys left him, people left him, and didn't believe in him no more. It taught him something inside that, you know, hey, this is what I got to do. This is what I got to do for my kids. This is what I got to do for my team. You know what I'm saying? And it just opened up another door for him to enter and accomplish, you know, something that he really wants. He really wants to be champion again, you know. Other than, you know, he don't care about the money, he don't care about this. He just want to be a champion, and which he always was since he was 6 years old. He just wanted to be the best. He just wanted to be the best. And ain't nothing wrong with that, wanting to be the best. I mean, in any sports, you want to be the best. And he just want to be the best. And whether you get mad or anybody channeling, you know what I'm saying? Every athlete, if you don't get mad or get down on different things, then you're not trying to be the best. So it's a different way that he's trying to be the best, and people may, the media may, you know, think something different. You know, he's got, you know, we all different in all avenues. Everybody got their vices and they do what they want to accomplish life the way they want to. So this is the way he does it. And I'm pretty sure he done it well, because like I said, he opened the door for a lot of boxers that's on Showtime today, you know. So he's not only been on Showtime, he's been on HBO, all the top networks. And he did a lot for boxing. And I think boxing needs to do something for him too.
Thank you, Coach. And last question for Omar Figueroa Jr. Omar, you've mentioned how important it was to get your mental health together to come into the ring with a clear mind. When you look at Broner, what he stated today, do you feel any deja vu? Do you feel he's coming into the ring with some of the anger and things that you had to go through in the past?
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, I was fueled by anger and hatred and all the negative emotions. And I feel like now that I shifted over to be more positive and just be more loving and trying to be more appreciative of myself and more patient with myself, I feel like it's made a world of difference. And you know, I recommend that for everybody. I wish everybody would be patient with themselves and you know, love themselves and just love life, I guess. I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but it's been the best thing to happen to me, and hopefully it translates to something great August 20th.
Thank you very much, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are going to go now to Alfredo Sanchez. Alfredo, please unmute yourself and ask your questions.
This will be in Spanish. Omar Jr., buenas tardes, Alfredo Sánchez de KRGB Azteca Valle. Saludos desde el Valle. Pregunta para Omar Jr. y para el papá. Primero, Omar, cuéntame acerca de tu campamento, cómo va y cómo te sientes de pelear a las 140 libras en comparación a las 147. Y papá, ¿cómo has visto a tu hijo luego de que ya superó pues esa etapa difícil que él estaba enfrentando, ya cambió la página y se encuentra como la mejor versión de Omar Figueroa Jr.?
Pues primeramente saludos a todos, a todo el Valle. Lo más importante es que está bien, y la segunda cosa es que 140, 135 y 140 es el peso de él. 147 estaba dando demasiada ventaja, estaban muy grandes para él, muy fuertes. Creo que lo veo muy bien en 140, y esperemos que los resultados sean positivos el día 20 de agosto. Lo miro bien, lo miro positivo, lo miro con ganas, y esperemos una gran pelea el 20 de agosto.
Omar, if you could translate that for us, the question and then the answer.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because that show was on ass.
Senior, could you translate what did he ask you, and then your answer?
He said, what was different with my son? What do I see different in him? First of all, seeing him happy, and second of all, is him fighting at 140, 135 or 140 would be his best weight. 147, he's giving too much advantage. They're too big, too strong, and Omar is not a fighter at 147, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alfredo, if you had another question, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. One quick question for Omar Jr. Omar, acerca del campamento, ¿cómo te sientes en estos momentos en tu preparación? Obviamente ya estamos a casi un mes para tu pelea. Cuéntame cómo va y los ajustes que piensas hacer para esta pelea, que es de alto calibre contra un rival que no es fácil, pero sí al final pues para ti es como un reto necesario para probarte que todavía tienes ese talento boxístico.
Pues sí, primeramente el campo ha sido excelente, estando aquí con mi familia. Yo creo que es el primer campo de toda mi carrera que he estado con toda mi familia, y me han estado ayudando bastante. Si tengo un día malo, un día bueno, o sea, están aquí para mí y siempre apoyándome y ayudándome a sobrepasar cualquier cosa que esté pasando. Y la verdad, yo creo que eso hace una diferencia que, pues, ojalá y el 20 de agosto se vea, o sea, porque de que ha sido un campo totalmente diferente, lo ha sido, mentalmente, físicamente, en todos los aspectos. Estando aquí con mi familia, la verdad sí me ha ayudado, y yo digo que va a brindar resultados positivos el 20 de agosto.
Gracias.
In the translation, Omar?
He asked me how camp was and how it's been going, and I basically just said that having my family here with me has made a world of difference. And I think this is the first time in all my camps that I've had my whole family here helping me for the entirety of camp. And we're hoping that it translates to good things on August 20th.
Thank you. We are going to go now to Cole Whiston. Cole, if you could please unmute yourself and ask your questions.
Thank you, Sam. Omar, my first question is for you. Now, barring, no matter what happens on August 20th, can we expect a more active Omar Figueroa Jr. afterwards?
A more what, I'm sorry?
Active.
Active.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, and I love going in there and throwing punches and making the fight exciting. And my whole purpose is for the fans to enjoy what they pay to watch. So I'm hoping that my dance partner is down to dance as well, and then hopefully we give the fans a great fight on August 20th.
And then win or lose, do you expect to be back in the ring more often than you have been in recent past, just because of injuries and what you've been dealing with?
Oh, well, that's to be seen, especially since I've been on this whole mental health journey. One of the things that I've been really considering is, whether or not to continue, depending on the outcome of this fight, whether I win or lose. Camp is not easy, and and it takes a toll on my mental health, and so that's something that's up in the air, and we're hoping for the best, but we don't know.
And I'd like to ask the same question to Mike about Adrian, if he thinks that it matters what happens on August 20th, whether or not, we can expect Adrien Broner to remain in boxing going forward.
Like I told Brian before, this is not our last hurrah. We here to stay, and we riding off to the sunset whenever Adrian is tired of boxing, and he's not forced to retire. We're not going to be forced to retire. It's up to Adrian, and the way the things shape up, he's not going to retire. He's got his legacy to deal with, and we're dealing with his legacy. So that's all I got to say.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Good luck to all parties.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go now to Jim Conlon. Jim, please unmute yourself and ask your questions.
I just want to jump back on that question there to Coach Mike Stafford there on Adrien Broner. And Adrien Broner's mentioned there about wanting to become champ and a title run again. But is it really Adrian on last chance saloon in terms of achieving that ambition, in terms of one more loss could eventually make that dream a distant sort of reality?
Well, we don't look at one more loss, and if you think like that, then you down on yourself. So you guys, we leave it up to you guys to say the different things like that. Come August 20th at the Hollywood, at Hard Rock Casino in Hollywood, Florida, we will show the world that we're ready to continue our legacy, and that's all that matters.
And my final question then for Omar Figueroa. Omar, speaking to you, looking at you throughout that interview so far and hearing your comments, you feel very relaxed, very at ease with yourself coming into this fight. Do you feel maybe all the pressure is maybe more on Adrien Broner than yourself, really? That for you, you mentioned it's you've achieved and accomplished so much. So is this another step or a ring on the ladder, maybe, that you're not talking about championships or titles, you just want to get back, enjoy boxing, and achieve a victory again, and maybe step by step? So do you feel more sort of stress-free coming into this fight, more relaxed?
Of course. I mean, like I said, it's never been me against the world. It's been me against me. And now I realize that. And, like I said, after being diagnosed with the slew of mental health issues that I have, I realized that the battle has really been with myself. I've made my career so much harder than it had to be because of everything that I had going on outside of boxing. And now that I've got a lot of that cleared out of the way, I'm able to focus on what I have to do to be the best version of myself in the ring. So that's why I'm not worried about my next fight. I'm not worried about championships. I'm not worried about anything but being the best version of myself on August 20th. And that starts by taking care of what I can now in camp today, not next week, not the day of the weigh-in, not the day of the fight. It's everything that I have to take care of now. And that's really all I'm focused on.
Best luck to both fighters.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go now to Kirk Jackson. Kirk, please unmute yourself and ask your questions.
He said a slew of mental health
My
issues.
first question is for Omar Jr.
Hmm.
Given that you've been so transparent with some of the mental health issues that you struggled with, do you consider yourself an advocate for those who do not have a voice or a platform who may be going through similar things?
I mean, it's something that it's more than anything. I feel like it just fell into place. I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to take this spot or claim this spot from anyone or anything. It's just something that I feel that if I can help anybody, which I have already, I've had people reach out to me on social media and thank me for being honest and open and transparent with everything that I have going on, because it's not just me that goes through these kinds of things. It's everybody that everybody in the world can be going through something like this. So if I'm able to help one person, then obviously, I'm going to do my best to do so. Boxing is just my job. And if I can do something outside of boxing to help people, then that's what I'm going to try and do.
And you may have already shared this on Brian's show or on another interview, but can you please provide some insight as to what ultimately helped you change things around or helped you better deal with your adversities with mental health?
Well, it just, I would have to credit Simone Biles for pulling out of the Olympics when she did, and for the reason that she did. And I feel that that's kind of what started the snowball effect for me. And I realized that if she had the guts to take care of herself and pull out of the world's biggest competition when, all eyes were on her, essentially, then me that I'm getting punched in the face, and I have been getting punched in the face for the past 20 some years, I felt like I had to start taking care of myself too. And honestly, I'm so glad I did. It's been life-changing.
Thank you for sharing that, Omar. And I have one last question for Mr. Stafford. Do you currently consider Adrien Broner a Hall of Fame fighter? And what do you think ultimately his place in history will be when it's all said and done?
It's funny that you asked it, so evidently you must think he is. So that's the answer, yes.
I do. Yeah. Do you think he'll be regarded? I think he's very transparent, and I think he's one of the great, not only fighters, but characters of this generation. Do you think that maybe when the dust settles, there'll be a more positive spin on how his career went, or he'll be remembered more favorably than he is now?
Well, Adrian right now can walk in the room with kids and walk by himself in the mall or whatever, and that'll show you that how famous he is. So he don't need that. I mean, it's something. It's some champions that can walk in the same place and they were like, who is that? Who is that? So Adrian is loved in so many ways because he, like I say, he's so talented. He's not only just a boxer. He does other things, and he's a great guy. Great guy. You guys don't really know him, because if you really knew him, you wouldn't say, there's certain little things about him that you think but you actually got to know this kid to really understand, Adrien Broner. And like I said, it goes back, I keep saying it, we was the face of boxing, always will be the face of boxing. And that's it.
Thanks. Okay, we have time for one last question. We're going to go to Antonio Baez. Antonio, please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yes, thank you for your time. This question's for Omar. So Omar, with the long layoff and last time we seen you in the ring, it seemed like we didn't see the best Omar that we usually see. As time went by, and now that you're mentally in a better place, and coming into August 20th against Broner, what will be the difference come fight night?
Well, I feel like that's to be seen. I mean, we can prepare our minds and bodies as much as we possibly want, but it's up to performing. And August 20th, that's when we'll find out how everything comes together. And that's why I'm saying that hopefully it all produces something positive, and we're going to do our best to get in there and give the fans a great show. And and that's all I can handle. I can't handle anything outside of that. For my last fight, we prepared like we always do. We do our best to be in 100% shape, and we all saw what happened. So hopefully that my mind and body come together on August 20th, and we're able to give you guys the greatest fight ever.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Brian, you can finish this up.
Okay, Sam, thank you very much. Well, before we wrap this up, I always like to do this, and I'll ask you, Mike, and I'll ask Omar the same thing. Mike, I'll start with you for, the people who will come into that casino, pay their hard-earned money, for the thousands that are going to be watching on Showtime Championship Boxing on August 20th. What can you guarantee they're going to get when Adrien Broner and Omar Figueroa Jr. get into the ring on August 20th?
I would say that millions of people watching.
Yeah, you go. I like that.
We're surpassed 1,000. Look, everybody want to fight Adrien. They see him. Everyone wants to fight Adrien. I mean, he gets called out all over the country. I mean, this kid is amazing, and you guys know, we're gonna have a great performance. So that's all that matters, and by, like you said, the millions of people is gonna be watching, the thousands of people will be coming to the casino. They're not coming for nothing. They coming for Adrien Broner. They coming for Adrien Broner. No disrespect to Mr. Figueroa and his son. They come for Adrien Broner. And we glad that you guys finally accepted the fight. And we don't have no excuses. We don't have no sense of saying that, about your mental health or nothing like that. We just want, you the best opportunity that we really wanted 4 years ago, and we really got it, because it's a boxer puncher against a straight up slugger, and and that makes power. So we want to give the people what they want, okay? And by the way, Adrien like fight Mexicans, so you're one of the top Mexicans he always looked up to fight. So that's what makes it good about it, and I'm glad Showtime finally got sense enough to put this thing together and start putting more fights for Adrien like this together, and more fights for everybody. We need boxing, need fights like this. So, just sit back and watch it on Showtime, and or either just go buy some tickets. Like Brian said, tickets on sale. You guys, let's get these tickets. Let's come down to Florida, and just be careful of the epidemic. And, we're going to give a great show, not a good show, a great show.
Fantastic.
Coach, I was told, is Adrien back now? I was told he might be back and able to say a couple things for us. Do you see him there?
I don't see him there, but, he's, when you see Adrien, you see me. So that's him, and just like I said, a lot of things that people been down on him about, and he understand what's going on. He understand what's going on. He just want to fight. He just want us, him and Omar, to come in the ring and get it over with, and prove that we're going to be world champion again.
Fantastic. Omar Figueroa Jr., Omar Sr., same thing to you. For the thousands that'll be coming into that casino to pay their hard-earned money, and I stand corrected, for the millions that will be watching on Showtime, give us a final word. What can you guarantee they're going to get on August 20th when you step into the ring with Adrien Broner?
Well, I can guarantee you, like they said, it's one of the top Mexican fighters. Omar has a great offensive, he throws a lot of punches. Adrien likes to fight this kind of, boxers. And like he said, I mean, it's guaranteed to be a great fight, and the fans are going to enjoy a great fight on Showtime. Showtime puts on great fights, and also thanks to Al Heyman for putting this fight together. I think it's going to be a great fight, and may the best man go out there and win.
Junior?
I mean, like I said, I've been working my ass off, both internally, externally, to be the best version of myself, and we're hoping to provide that on August 20th. And that's it. I mean, I'm going in there, and I want to, I want to feel that I feel that fire again. So it's exciting, and I can't wait to go out there on August 20th and put it out.
Fantastic. Again, folks, to hear all of Omar's story, go to the Showtime Sports YouTube page and see our Last Stand episode with Omar Figueroa Jr. It is really, really in-depth. He's very open and honest about everything in his career. I'm sure you will enjoy that. And this coming Thursday, I'm going to be speaking with Adrien Broner and we'll have that episode, and we'll drop that one as well the following Monday. Folks, want to thank you all for joining this virtual press conference for Broner versus Figueroa. Again, August 20th at the Florida Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. It will be live on Showtime. You don't want to miss this fight. You can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. And of course, this is being brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions. It's the problem. Adrien Broner, he's back. And so is Omar Figueroa Jr. He's back as well. These two were originally going to fight 4 years ago. Now they're going to get it on. And we will see you August 20th in Florida and on Showtime. I'm Brian Custer. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, let's do a quick.
Good stuff, guys. Thank you.
Hold on 1 minute. Let me close this stuff out. Let's do a quick fight week. Let's do a quick preview since we're here and talk about what happened with Adrien Broner and why he wasn't on the call. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put that clip up for you right now. So once again, thanks for watching. We're going to be live again at 6:30 p.m. basically in about a little less than 40 minutes or so to talk about some other boxing news of the week. But in the meantime, Adrien Broner, this was supposed to be Adrien Broner and Omar Figueroa's media conference, virtual press conference. And this is standard practice for Showtime to do these before their fights. They'll have a virtual press conference, and then they'll have a press conference during fight week. Even for Tank Davis versus Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz, they have a press conference, then a virtual press conference. But if it's a pay-per-view, and that Isaac Cruz is the last-minute replacement, but if it's a pay-per-view, then they'll do a press conference, then fight week press conference. In this case, this is a regular Showtime boxing card where even you had Jamal Charlo, other Showtime fighters, Stephen Fulton, they do virtual press conferences. So let me go here right now, and we're going to take some time and look at this, and then we're going to talk about the card and why, unfortunately, this fight is going to be taking place at 140. History is not on the side of Adrien Broner. So, but here's what happened with Adrien Broner earlier. He just left the press conference, and Mike Stafford just sat there, and here he is. All right, let's go watch it. He was upset, basically. Here, I'll let him explain.
Together, and they're going to settle it in the ring on August 20th. It is brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions. Tickets are available, and you can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Again, Ticketmaster.com. I'm going to talk to both of these fighters about this fight. You see their trainers are with them as well. Mike Stafford, longtime trainer of Adrien Broner, and, of course, the father of Omar Figueroa Jr., Omar Figueroa Sr. as well. We'll talk with them. And I know members of the media, you have questions for them as well. All you have to do is on the Zoom, hit the raise your hand icon there, and you'll be able to ask your question as well. Gentlemen, let's get into it, and let's get into this fight. And Adrien, we'll start with you because I know for a while you've been training for this. You've been out in Colorado. Can you give us a word on just how training camp has been going and just your feelings on facing Omar Figueroa Jr.?
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, Brian. I ain't with none of this shit they got going on. I feel like Al Heyman and Steven Espinoza is bullshitting because why is we doing a press conference on a computer when you got guys like they don't do Floyd shit on no fucking computer when he fight a YouTuber. They don't do nobody else shit on the computer, but they want to do my shit on the computer. So that's telling me they don't give a fuck about me. So when you say fuck me, it's fuck y'all. And at the end of the day, that's what I really just came here to let y'all know. I see anybody can see it. Y'all at this point, y'all bullshitting. Y'all's been supposed to make this fight. Y'all giving us dates. Y'all keep pushing our dates back. Like, y'all, come on, man. Who the fuck do a 6-month camp? Y'all tripping. So what I'm gonna do, Brian, I'm gonna talk to you at 11 on Thursday. So what I'm gonna do is tell Omar keep training your ass off. I'm training my ass off too. Let's go in there and put on a great performance. But I'm gonna get the fuck on up out of here and go back to sleep, y'all. Hey, Brian, I'll see you on Thursday, all right?
Let me say one thing.
And he left. Adrien Broner went on to leave the virtual press conference. Now, basically, he just said, fuck Al Heyman, fuck Steven Espinoza. And if you haven't been paying attention, Adrien Broner for the last, I'm going to say about 3 years or so, if you know where to look, there's videos scattered all through the internet, you know, from YouTube all the way down to Reddit, from where he's been expressing his displeasure with PBC and Al Heyman. You know, it seems like he's been wanting out for a long time. Now, he's going to be fighting Omar Figueroa August the 20th on PBC Showtime, regular boxing, no belt on the line. The fight is going to be taking place at 140. That's a significant factor right there. You know, the last time Adrien Broner, by the way, Adrien Broner turns 33 years old next week, the 28th. Right now, what's today's date? The 19th, 5:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Broner, 34-4-1 with 24 KOs. Arguably, a lot of people thought he lost this last fight. Before that, so one fight in 2021, no fights in 2020, the pandemic. The Manny Pacquiao fight that a lot of people thought he shouldn't have got, you know, that got him a big payday from, unfortunately, I don't like talking about people money, but, you know, that was rumored to be a fight where he had to pay back Al Heyman for advances and all kind of, you know, shit like that. So basically, he made little to no money for that fight. That's the rumor going around. And even he said something like that in an interview. I believe the interview's on like a Secback channel somewhere. Can somebody confirm that? He said some shit like that. The Jesse Vargas fight, that was at 144. A lot of people thought he lost that fight. The Mikey Garcia fight, I was there for that fight ringside. That was a cool, nice event. The Adrian Granados fight, you know, he had some issues there. And then the last time he was at 140 pounds was 6+ years ago. So if your life depended on it, ladies and gentlemen, okay, let's not say your life. Let's say your hamster's life or your gerbil's life depended on it, right? And that gerbil all pretty looking and it's like and all cute, and you're like, oh, gerbil, you're the best, you know. And it was like, listen, it was some evil man with some cleats on, and he said, I'm gonna stump this gerbil to death if Adrien Broner don't make 140 pounds. Would you trust him? I wouldn't trust Adrien Broner with my gerbil's life. No way. So I'll be all crying and shit. No way. And I lost my fish earlier, bro. Elliot, you know, I'm still a little torn up about that. I think I kind of boiled him to death. I put him on like the radiator where I was changing the water. Don't get me started. You know, but you know, I put him in like the extra container, and I set it on like on top of the radiator where I was cleaning out the tank. But this. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I don't trust this fight for Adrien Broner at 140 pounds. If you go look at the punch stats, well, let me just pull up an Omar Figueroa fight. I'm trying to find the punch stats here. I know I had them pulled up somewhere. Figueroa in his last fight against Abel Ramos, how long did that go? 28-2-1 with 19 KOs. The Ramos fight, okay, so basically it'll be a 15-month layoff since he fought Abel Ramos. 6-round stoppage. 6-round stoppage. In those 6 rounds, Omar Figueroa threw 439 punches. Well on his way to a 900 punch output for a 10-round fight. 150 landed. Oh no, wait a minute. I'm tripping. That says that he was on his way to 600 punches thrown. I'm looking at Ramos. He was on his way to 600 punches thrown. 150 landed through a 10-round fight. But when you look at Adrien Broner's numbers against his last opponent, which he's on what? How long has he been off? Now, he's saying he's been in camp for 6 months and they've been pushing the dates back. It's no secret. I think it's all out there right now that PBC has been having some issues with their large stable and keeping their fighters active. And that's why we've been seeing paying their fighters, too, their guaranteed money. That's why we've been seeing a lot of pay-per-views like fucking Loser Teams versus Charles Martin. That was a huge red flag right there. You know, and it started when they did Chris Arreola and Ian Ruiz, huge red flag. And then we're not seeing Jamel Charlo versus Tim Tszyu until basically February, January the 28th of next year. So Showtime, they're a network, but they can't put on boxing and don't have the budget for boxing every week. You see what I'm saying? So Adrien Broner's been pissed at his inactivity. And if you don't remember, this was the post-fight press conference after he got that controversial win over Giovanni Santiago. And this is what he said about inactivity. And I'm gonna play this clip and then we're gonna move on because I gotta stream again at 6:30, 6:02 right now.
You know, I found out what it feel like to win another fight. So I want to keep doing that.
I know that final question for me. I know that there's always going to be temptations. There's always going to be people talking things of that nature. Do you think that it's going to be a struggle to stay away from some of the vices that you know kind of kept you away from where you want to be in boxing?
See, that's what I'm saying. I did it this camp. I did it. Listen, I'm gonna tell you three of my biggest vices. 1, gambling. 2, sex. And 3, women. And well, I say I'll put. You could put some together. I'll say one more. I'll say one more, huh? One more. Liquor. Yeah. I was drinking and partying a lot. And you know, I stopped all four. And I just focused on boxing. And it was tough. It was tough to go in the house and look at my beautiful wife every night and not kiss her or want to make love to her. It was tough. But I did it. And every time I came out the room, GT, I had him living with me. He would just, you know, just keep it in my mind, like, hey man, don't be having no sex. And,
shout out to GT.
You know, that was helping, but I had it on my mind anyway. You know, I wasn't trying to go in the house and make love to that girl. I was
good for him. But basically what he was saying was after his last fight, last February, he was talking about how, you know, like he wants to stay active and keeping him active keeps him out of trouble. Now, as I said, it's been pretty open that he wants out of PBC, but I don't think he'll ever not be a PBC fighter. But when you're going on virtual press conference for a big time event coming up, and you're talking about basically, you know, fuck Al Heyman and fuck Steven Espinoza, you know, it's just like, yo, oh, so you want out. You're asking, you know, to leave. And here's the thing. I'm not confident that Adrien Broner is going to beat Omar Figueroa because, for one, the fight is taking place at 140. Adrien Broner ain't been at 140 in 6+ years. Adrien Broner, you know, doesn't let his hands go. And let me pull up those punch stats again from his last fight. So let's see here. Total punches thrown for Adrien Broner in his last fight. 338 thrown. Right? 338 thrown and only 98 landed. His opponent, Giovanni Santiago, 697 thrown, 207 landed, 98 of those to the body. How did he lose this fight? Hey, you know? But I'm not confident that Broner, for one, I don't think he can stop Omar Figueroa. I don't think that. Now, Omar Figueroa has been notorious, you know, for having hand injuries. And also, he's been very vocal about his mental health issues. And let me tell you something. You know, I was diagnosed with some shit a few years ago. And that mental health shit, it will fuck with you. Like, once you, like, really understand, you know, I'm not going to go beat you over the head with it. Because even me, I get tired of hearing about, you know, fucking Ryan Garcia, you know, Tyson Fury, you know, but I do acknowledge mental health because I go through the shit. You know, I was diagnosed with a post-traumatic stress disorder. And growing up, when I heard that shit, I always thought it was, you know, you can only get that shit from war. But, you know, I guess you are in your own type of wars out here. But anyway, moving on is just like I thought about Ryan Garcia. And I still think that if Ryan Garcia loses a fight, that maybe because of his mental health issues, he may retire or disappear for a couple of years. You know, I don't doubt that. That's just my personal opinion. But with Omar Figueroa, do you think that in the ring, you know, that's going to affect him because it's not like he's going to stop throwing punches. And what can Omar Figueroa, I mean, what can Broner do to Omar Figueroa that hasn't been done? He can't, I don't think that Broner can have a performance like your Dennis Ugas did when he became the first person to stop him. Broner can't outthrow him. So if Broner was to lose, let's be honest, it's going to be because likely he gets outpunched or outthrown. You know? And Broner has this issue with pressure fighters. You know, his toughest fights and the ones that he lost has been against pressure fighters. And even when you look at the power, you know, okay, this fight is taking place at 140 pounds. That's just scary enough. Oh, no, excuse me. The Mikey Garcia fight was at 140 pounds. I was at that press conference too, and he was upset. This is a fact. I was at the Broner Mikey Garcia press conference in New York. Where was it at? I believe it was in the Dream Hotel in Manhattan. Was it there? I don't remember. Anyway, he was upset because it was a small venue. He wanted the press conference to be in the Barclays Center. And before everything started, like you can see when he came in, he just was upset like, yo, this is not how y'all would do Floyd shit. And it's like, bro, let's be honest. Adrien Broner is not Floyd Mayweather. And Omar Figueroa, and I'm guessing that they wanted the press conference. I'm guessing Adrien Broner, he wanted the press conference to happen in Miami. Did he want to and have Omar Figueroa travel down there for a press conference? I mean, normally in the past they would do that, but in this day of social media and these streams, they've been doing this Showtime where they'll have these virtual press conferences, unless it's like a fight where it's like in LA or New York, where it's like, all right, well, let's I don't know. I don't agree with him. But once again, I'm gonna run it back for you, and I just feel that he was out of line here. And this also shows me that he probably wants out of PBC.
Going and just your feelings on facing Omar Figueroa.
But look, here he is. So, basically, he's basically saying fuck Steven Espinosa's Showtime and fuck Al Heyman.
Figueroa Jr.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, Brian. I ain't with none of this shit they got going on. I feel like Al Heyman and Steven Espinosa is bullshitting because why is we doing a press conference on a computer when you got guys like they don't do Floyd shit on no fucking computer when he fight a YouTuber. They don't do nobody else shit on the computer, but they want to do my shit on the computer. So that's telling me they don't give a fuck about me. So when you say fuck me, it's fuck y'all. And at the end of the day, that's what I really just came here to let y'all know. I see anybody can see it. Y'all at this point y'all bullshitting. Y'all's been supposed to make this fight. Y'all giving us dates. Y'all keep pushing our dates back. Like, y'all, come on, man. Who the fuck do a 6-month camp? Y'all tripping. So what I'm gonna do, Brian, I'm gonna talk to you at 11 on Thursday. So what I'm gonna do is tell Omar, keep training your ass off. I'm training my ass off too. Let's go in there and put on a great performance. But I'm gonna get the fuck on up out of here and go back to sleep, y'all. Hey, Brian, I'll see you on Thursday, all right?
and he just straight bounced.
Let me say one thing. Now, because of COVID, this has kind of been the thing. This is like the preliminary press conference that we generally do. And then we obviously have the press conference in person during fight week. So this has been the protocol of what we've done generally, all because of COVID. Omar, go to.
And he just bounced. Now I understand you can be upset and all that, but when you start saying fuck people, it's like fuck me, like bro, fuck you. Like what the fuck is wrong with you? You can't go around saying fuck people like that. That's some serious shit right there. But he definitely has to win. And here's an idea. Somebody brought it up in the chat. What if he's trying to really force himself out? And what if Showtime gets to a point where they're like, you know what? We don't want nothing more to do with him. We tired of his shit. We tired of him missing weight. We tired of him cussing people out in the post-fight interviews, telling us he won the shit and he really didn't. And disrespecting Jim Gray and all this type of shit. What if they're like, you know what? We're done with him. You know what I would like to see though? How do you guys feel about Ryan Garcia and Adrien Broner on the zone? I'm just smiling thinking about it. What if Al Heyman just be like, you know what? I'm still gonna be your manager, but there was some fucking bitch ass shit you did, You know, and now Showtime don't want nothing to do with you. And the rumors are Fox never wanted nothing to do with you because your mouth, you know, you're not good for free TV. So you know what? You know what? We're going to look at something over for the zone for you, but you got to give me my fee. You know, you get whatever they're going to pay you. I take my cut. But if you want to go over there, we're going to try to, you know, get you the biggest purses possible. And we're going to feed you to Ryan Garcia. Would it be feeding him to Ryan Garcia? I don't know. I want that. I would entertain that. You would not entertain Ryan Garcia versus Adrien Broner. Come on now. Those media events would be gold. He would get that in-person media event. But let's see if he's going to make 140 pounds, though. By the way, Adrien Broner turns 33 next week. The 28th, he'll be 33 years old. Here's the undercard. You're going to have Alberto Puello taking on Bakhtir Akhmedov. That's going to be for the WBA title. The one, from my understanding, that Josh Taylor has vacated, if he's not fully vacated yet. Roger Gutierrez taking on Hector Garcia. Remember, Gutierrez was supposed to fight Colbert. Colbert lost in an upset to Garcia, and now you're having Garcia versus Gutierrez for that WBA title. Remember, Shakur Stevenson has the WBC and the WBO. And the other cards are pretty much showcase fights. It's taking place on, August the 20th, down in Miami, the Hollywood Casino, right? Broner's pretty much been residing down in Miami, but I don't know, yo. Let me get up out of here. Take a time out, like the video, subscribe. You don't want to see Broner versus Ryan Garcia? I'm going to be back in about 15 minutes or so for another boxing stream here. It's pinned right at the top of the chat where we're going to talk about other topics like, you know, recapping what happened this weekend with Ryan Garcia, talking about Isaac Dogbay, Joey Gonzalez, and then of course the talks of Iris Lindy Lara and Keith Thurman. You know, so that's something to talk about. Thanks for watching. Please drop a like before you go. We stream on Tuesday, 6 p.m., Thursday, 6 p.m., Friday, 6 p.m., and Saturday nights during the main events of our boxing streams. Down below is the link to my social media. Basically, in the description box, I put the boxing schedule all down there and past fight results and the WBC app, powered by the Vive Network for Roku, Android, and Apple. Thanks for watching. See you guys in about 15 minutes or so.